just moments ago, French MPs have voted to oust the current Prime Minister following his controversial austerity measures to raise 44 billion euros to tackle the country's rising debt. Famously, he wanted to scrap 2 public holidays as well as freeze spending. Well, he's gone now, and France is even more unstable than it was the day before. The president of France, Macron, whose term isn't up until 2027, he's going to either choose a new prime minister or he is going to call for snap legislative elections in which the French people will then vote for new deputies of the National Assembly, those 577 seats. Now, I don't think the president wants to do that, because in France you've got 3 political factions, shall we say. You've got the centrist bloc, which is the current government, and Macron, and then you've got the far left and far right. Now, the far left and far right have gained in popularity in recent years, and that is why there is currently this kind of deadlock in the government, in the National Assembly. The National Assembly, by the way, they're the lawmakers. They make laws, amend laws or scrap laws and all that stuff, and decide the budget and all that stuff. I'm simplifying it, but you get the idea. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm Ryan, by the way. I've got a house in France which I'm about to show you another day of renovation. That's what I usually do. And I'm going to tell you, let's just start watching it, and I'm also going to tell you what's going to unfold in France this month, in a couple of days in fact, with the planned protests and strikes. There's my beautiful house, 15 grand in rural France that house was. What a lovely house. And here's my mate Dave in the little socks. He's got the little socks on, that's right. I am jealous. And what he's going to be doing is doing some work in the this is the living room, and then he's going to be working on the ceiling of the living room as well. You can see he's insulating the whole thing. He's doing a fantastic job. Now, back to what's going to happen in France in the next few days. There's planned protests and strikes and disruption throughout the whole of France. That's planned for September 10th, pardon me. That's in just 2 days' time. Now, I thought with the, the current Prime Minister getting the boot and the current French government falling, okay? They've fallen. That's the headlines I'm seeing. I thought a lot of people would not protest and not strike, but apparently these strikes and protests are still going ahead. Hopefully they won't have the same amplitude as what would have been if the Prime Minister wasn't gone out the door, but honestly, it's up in the air. I think it's still going to be quite disruptive. I think we're going to see a lot of people not only taking to the streets, but people walking out from work, blocking airports, blocking train stations, blocking transportation hubs, blocking potentially commercial, like shopping centres and logistical places that deliver important stuff for the shopping centres and all that. And also blocking the fuel refineries. That's a big one. And blocking roads, which we saw happen with the grassroots movement called the Gilets Jaunes back in 2018, where in the countryside you'll drive up to a random roundabout outside a small to medium sized town and it's all blocked and you can't get anywhere. And that happened, and it was crazy times. Now, I sincerely hope that there's as little disruption as possible, because I thought that the people of France were going to be protesting because of the austerity measures put forward. But now that those are obviously out the door with the Prime Minister, I'm not 100% sure why the people of France are still going to be protesting and striking. I know for a fact that the air traffic controllers, they want to raise in line with inflation, so they're walking out in a couple of days. They're going to be striking, and on September 18th. So those 2 dates, September 10th, September 18th, if you're getting a flight to France, good luck, because there are going to be, it's estimated, a quarter of flights cancelled with further delays and disruptions to other flights. So keep an eye on your airline, and yeah, that's not too good, is it? More disruptions are planned in the education sector as well. I don't know if high school students and teachers are still going to block schools. That remains to be seen. I'm quite surprised from what it looks like online. I'm surprised that these protests are still going forward. I don't know what's going on. It's all up in the air, to be honest. It's all up in the air. So we'll see how this unfolds in the next few days. It's going to be very interesting. I hope that protests don't turn into riots, you know, and destructive, just smashing stuff up and that. No one wants to see that. I certainly don't want to see that. I want to see France get back to normal and prosper. That's, you know, so yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But this is my house that's being done up, by the way, and I'm going to give a proper video update of my house and why I'm not in France yet. In the coming days or weeks, I'll do a big video update. I've been super busy and making the necessary steps to try and get back to France, because it's not easy. It's quite crazy, and with these planned protests and strikes, it adds a little bit of stress as well. I must admit, it's trying to navigate and choose potentially what day to come back, when I can actually come back, because it's not as simple as just getting on a plane. Unfortunately, there's so many things that we're doing. I'm waiting on documents right now. There's, you know, documents that need to be put forward and then get them back, and then I can do another application. It's just like a multi-step process. It's an absolute nightmare. But what do you do? What do you do? It's the law of the land, and that's life. So we're just trying to do it, trying to do what we're told, so I can get back to my house, get back in, renovate, make videos. But fortunately, I've got some good friends like Dave to help me out, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, I will keep you posted, by the way, what's with these protests and strikes, because it will be interesting to see what's going to happen. And hopefully it dies down. Hopefully the French hardworking people of France are going to be like, yeah, look, that's it, new Prime Minister, nothing really changes, we'll be okay, let's just get on with life, let's not protest, let's not strike too much, let's not disrupt things too much. Yeah, because getting caught up in one of these strikes, when it comes to the oil refineries being blocked and fuel deliveries can't be made, and there's you can't drive your car because you've got no way to buy fuel because no one's selling any fuel in the countryside, it can be quite stressful. But it is super stressful with the airports, especially. Like, no one likes missing a flight. I think there's nothing worse than missing a flight. It's such a horrible feeling. So yeah, I'm just really stressed and keeping an eye on things. But the plan hasn't changed. I will be back. But Dave's doing a good job. He's holding down the fort, and I'm incredibly grateful. As I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but it is what it is. And by the way, more renovation videos will be coming as we keep an eye on the situation in France as well. I think it could be a good mix. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoy me reporting on the facts of what's going on in France at the moment and seeing the renovation content at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone. And by the way, I've edited a load more renovation footage, which I'm excited to showcase to you in the coming days as well. I've got heaps and heaps of footage, so it's fantastic. You won't believe what the place looks like now. It's doing really good. And moving back to the whole politics thing, I don't want to get too much into politics because it's such a divisive subject. I noticed in the comments of the last couple of videos, wow, I know a lot of you are passionate about it, of course, but I don't want to be someone that kind of spreads any negative vibes online, and it seems like that's what kind of has happened a little bit just by the nature of what's going on. But I also do want to report the facts of what's going on in France, because it is such an important time in France at the moment. I mean, that was the 4th Prime Minister gone. 4th Prime Minister. We're about to have a 5th Prime Minister in like 2 years. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And I want to be 100% clear, I am not stating my affiliation or support for any political party whatsoever. Just to keep that, consider me Switzerland. Alright? I'm neutral. And by the way, what Dave's doing is setting up the rails, the metal railing, what the insulation will slot into, and then the plasterboards will be drilled to this new ceiling. He's covering up the hideous wallpaper that was on the ceiling, by the way. Absolutely hideous. You can just get a glimpse of it if you look very closely at the ceiling in the distance. It was horrible stuff, absolutely horrible stuff. But yeah, Dave's been a real hero of this renovation, and I don't know what I'd do without him. You know, my time away from France has given me a lot of time to reflect on life itself and how this renovation is unfolding. Of course, it's not what I planned. I seem to have gotten some backlash as well, which always brings me joy when I manage to evoke emotions in people that watch my videos. So whether you like me or hate me, I'm doing my job in the sense of evoking some kind of reaction out of people. That's what I intend to do, and positive or negative, it doesn't really matter to me. Once the video's out there, it's out there. But that's it. Yeah, Dave's doing great. He's gonna put some insulation in just a moment. You'll see. But yeah, man, I'm tired. I am tired. I'm tired. I'm worried about what's gonna happen in France. I can see my renovations in good hands, but I want to get back. I'm eager. I'm terrified that the whole application to get back to France, something goes wrong. But I mean, even if it does, we'll just try again. We'll just keep trying. We'll never give up. You know, failure is not an option, and I think that's the mindset to keep. So thank you, Dave. You've done a great job today in the house. I really appreciate that. And with that being said, it marks the end of this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this format where I report on the French, what's going on the French situation, and also showcase the renovation as well. So I feel like we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And of course, we will get back to answering a few comments in future videos. But I thought I just wanted to get this video out because that has just happened. All right, the French government has just collapsed, as per the headlines in France. Okay, so those are not my words. Those are the words of the other journalists. Although I'm not even a journalist. You could call me a citizen journalist, because that's what journalists do. I don't know, I'm waffling. I'll see you in the next video in the next couple of days, alright? Much love. We'll see what happens in France. Stay tuned for that. Bye for now.